Catwoman issue 8. Who's still reading this, actually?
I am.
Is Connor still reading this? No, you dropped it.
I dropped it.
I dropped this a while ago.
Yeah.
I haven't read the last 3 issues, maybe.
Yeah, so this is the second part of a 2-parter, although it still ends with a to be continued.
It's
it's still
so really it's not 2 parts.
Yeah.
It's like an intermission, basically.
It feels like it's actually a longer arc. It's just they've kind of said the first 2 are this part 1 and 2, and it's not really.
Have they done that because of the artist changes?
I think so.
Maybe, yeah.
Because did
You can
mention,
definitely.
I don't know if we mentioned in the news last week or not what was happening with Catwoman.
It's getting like a fill-in artist for.
It's getting a fill-in writer as well.
That's right, yeah, for 1 month.
Issue,
Oh wait.
I want to say issue 9.
Yeah, it's next
10.
month. It's March's issue. That's
Next month,
Oh,
right?
snap. I didn't
So
realize that.
yeah, the issue that was solicited was just pushed back a month.
Yeah,
it's still coming out.
It's essentially a month delay. They're putting out another issue in its place. Which I mean, I could have just taken a month off and waited for.
Yeah, who's writing? Do we know?
We do. I can't remember off the top of my head though.
I'll go and look while you talk about it.
Okay, go ahead.
So how did you feel about?
I'm enjoying the weirdness of this book, and like just through, I appreciate that it's a quick read. Like I'm never in for more than what I should be.
Yeah, as a quick read, I'll give it that. Yeah.
You can tell that an artist is doing the scripting because the art still is doing most of the talking here. That said, the story, I have zero idea what's going on. There's some Pet Cemetery vibes. Like I just kept thinking, sometimes dead is better.
You know? It's weird because like I enjoyed it well enough. Like it's an okay book, and I think the consistent thing I'm feeling with Catwoman though is that it just feels so unimportant. And it's not like every book has to feel like it's the center of the universe and it's the most important thing DC are doing.
But
you know, like when I'm reading. What's another smaller book? When I'm reading Silencer, it still feels like it's important for itself, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas Catwoman, it still just kind of feels like, oh, it's just some filler Catwoman stories because we want a Catwoman book, not because the stories feel like they're important enough to actually tell. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, like I almost forget the whole reason she's living in not Los Angeles is because of the wedding.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like this is one of her side jaunts. You know, and especially this issue because of like. Penguin hiring her to steal something, and then you find out it's like this magical thing that brings the dead back to life. And
it produces an elixir to bring the dead back to life because the opening scene's Creel going to buy it for her son who died in the first arc, and
God, I really like Mrs. Creel as a villain. She's creepy. She looks like the Crypt Keeper, like
a little bit,
yeah. You know,
so
with the corpse looking face.
So she goes to buy this thing. We see her try to use it on her son. And it doesn't look. We don't really see how well it works. It looks kind of like it looks like he might be coming back. He's got the blue stuff that's coming out of his face, but it's not like he's back and well and healthy and normal by any means.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
That's not your son anymore. You know, like that's a dead body.
But
that's reanimated.
But yeah, Penguin got Catwoman's attention last issue, and it turns out it's because he wants her to steal this thing that produces this.
Yep.
So a lot of the issue is her sneaking into this building, going past all these dead people, dealing with some dogs, and then ultimately fighting the woman who owns the thing. And it's a pretty drag out fight where the other woman's actually kind of kicking her ass for a lot of it.
Yeah.
But then Catwoman kind of starts bashing her over the head with the item itself.
Which not on brand for Selena for me.
Yeah, it's very brutal. She's clearly in a rough place right now. And if eventually the woman's like, okay, you win, you can take it. But Selena looks like she's willing to kill her. It really feels like it.
Well, yeah, because didn't the Penguin, correct me if I'm wrong, Penguin did threaten her sister, right? Like, that's how he's getting her to comply. So, yeah, you feel that she's in a hard place. But no, like, again, it's such a weird book. I wasn't expecting it to get to reanimating corpses and like the governor's wife being a major drug dealer, and like it's so odd. That's what keeps me coming back. You know?
Yeah, no, and like she gets the thing. She comes out and Penguin's there, and she gets her surrounded with guards and stuff, and it's like, So what was it he says at the end? But you wouldn't want me to leave town without a souvenir, would you? So it sounds like he's kidnapping her, and that's where the next arc's going, is that Penguin's taking Selena for something. But we seem to be having a fill-in issue before we get to that, so we'll see what happens. But I mean, the art's really good. The fight looks good. The like her sneaking around the building looks good. All that stuff is enjoyable enough. I just wish the plot felt more important.
Yeah, I get that.
I guess having a random fill-in issue isn't helping with it feeling important.
No, it won't feel. Yeah, it won't help at all. But
I do have the solicit for that up.
I'll go on.
Okay.
So it's by Ram V, and the artist is John Timms. It says, when crooks break into the pawn shop where Catwoman has set up her secret headquarters, they make off with a personal item that she has to get back. The trail of loot leads her to the broker, the man who moves all illicit merchandise in Via Hermosa. Now, Catwoman could just walk in and ask for her property back, but that's never been Catwoman's style. Instead, she's going to pull off a heist that will teach her foe a lesson, and making sure the broker never crosses the cat again.
Yeah, that sounds really throwaway.
Yeah,
I usually
sounds like an annual story.
Yeah, I don't usually consider just skipping a numbered issue of a book, but like I almost feel like I want to skip that one because it feels like it's just filler.
It's a heist, so I'm going to be there regardless. So.
I mean, I'll see how I feel on the week, but I mean, it feels
no
very
guarantees.
skippable. Yeah. What are you giving it, Matt? What are you giving issue 8?
But it's a 7.5. Like, it's fine. Again, weird, odd, but still enjoyable.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel weird about it. I'll give it a 6.5. I think it's fine. I like the art, but it's not setting my world on fire, so it's okay.